friends, and welcome back to this week's Self-Love Masterclass. If you are new here, my name is Renee Mellings-Lewis. I am the CEO and founder of Modern Day Wise Women, which is an online self-love coaching practice and private school. And here at this channel, or wherever you're watching this video, we talk about all things self-love and personal development. Now, I am super excited to get into this video because it is a highly requested video. We are going to be talking all about self-worth and self-worth's relationship to unavailable people. Yes, there is absolutely a connection, and it is not uncommon for people who are on a self-love journey, right, to recognize that they have a pattern of attracting unavailable people into their lives, or to have a history of dating unavailable people or being in business with unavailable people. So we're going to get into all of that in this class today. Make sure you have your pen and your paper so that you can take some notes, or your iPad, however you do that. I am also going to link some playlists and some relevant videos that will be helpful for you if you want to dive deeper into this topic. So look out for that. And without further ado, let's just jump right into the class. I want to begin by having us have an understanding of what it is, right, to be in relationship with unavailable people. What it is to experience being in a relationship with someone that is unavailable. One of the telltale signs that you are interacting with or in a relationship with someone that is unavailable, and when I say unavailable, they may not necessarily be unavailable to everyone, but they are unavailable to you. And this is something you want to make sure you hear, right? They might be unavailable to you. And the first thing, right, is you're going to feel it. You're going to have this sense of intuition. You're going to have this feeling that, like, you don't really know where you stand with this person. You don't really know, like, how they feel about you, and you feel insecure. Now, it is true. There can be a number of reasons why we might feel insecure in a relationship. But if you are someone that generally does not feel insecure, particularly with people that you've cultivated a relationship with, but in this relationship, you feel quite insecure and quite confused, not really sure what's going on, you probably want to flag this. The other thing that you're going to pick up on is that there's a sense of disconnect. You know, you might have these moments where you feel like things are clicking and like you're really connecting, but then you have these awkward moments where something feels off, something doesn't quite feel right, or it takes you like time to kind of get back into that rhythm. Right? It suggests that there is a continuum or a continuousness to this relationship that isn't there. And that is definitely something that you want to flag. If any of the things that I've just talked about perk your ears up or resonate with you, you very well could be in a relationship with someone that is unavailable. Or you may have a pattern of being in relationships with people who are unavailable. Next, what we're going to do is talk a little bit about self-worth and how our sense of self-worth is connected to the kinds of people that we attract. If you're watching this class, you've probably been doing quite a bit of research on this, and so you know this. You know that your sense of self-worth is a foundational part of your sense of self, and that it deeply affects how you see the world and who you attract into your life. Those of us that are still working on building our sense of self-worth, or perhaps we're at a place where we recognize that our self-worth is low, we tend to have a higher tolerance for things. In other words, if someone violates our boundaries, if someone isn't treating us the way that we know we ought to be treated, we're less likely to say something, we're less likely to speak up for ourselves, and in fact, we're less likely to even note it, to even record it, to even be aware of it. Because for us, it is normal. It is understandable. In fact, some of us even go so far as to think that the reason someone is operating this way with us is because of something that we did, or because of something that we lack. When our self-worth is low, what we get from other people is often quite low. Remember, all things are often a match. The other thing to be aware of is if we came from a home, we were embedded in a family where perhaps we had a narcissistic parent, or we had a parent that was absent, or we were constantly criticized and bullied and judged, then we already have an existing wiring blueprint within ourselves that says, hey, I am not good enough. And so in relationships with people, it is normal and acceptable for me to be mistreated and for me to work harder to try to gain their love, or to try to gain their respect, or to try to gain their attention. So then we go out into the dating world, right? Or we go out into the business world, and maybe we see some big shot, or this person with this big personality, super confident and cool. And we're right back to being that small child or that younger person that didn't feel good enough in this dynamic with this other person, not getting what we need, not being treated the way that we deserve, right? And thinking that it's okay. Be aware if in your relationship dynamic, you feel like you are constantly chasing. And I want to make chasing distinct from initiating, because sometimes people get really confused with this. In relationships and in partnerships, you may have one person that initiates more than the other. Initiating more doesn't necessarily equal more interest. What we're looking for is what happens when you initiate. Does this person match your energy? Does this person reciprocate? Do you have the experience that this person is grateful for you initiating, that they are excited that you have contacted them? Okay, and you'll know, like I said, you can sort of feel when you are in a one-sided relationship where you're feeling, like you are up here with them, and the way they are treating you is like you are down here. You will know, you will feel it intuitively and instinctively. The non-reciprocal, one-sided relationship is the thing that often reflects our low self-worth. It is the chase. It is you are not showing any interest, you are not showing any gratitude. I am doing all of the work with little and no appreciation. It almost feels borderline like you are being used. It is really important, right, to acknowledge that despite the fact that this person is not reciprocating, is not being consistent, is not showing interest, is feeling disconnected, you still want to be with them. You still want to engage with them. You still desire them. Why is that? People who love themselves, people who know their worth, people who feel clear about who they are, want to be given the same energy that they put out. They want people to match their vibe. They are not interested in chasing, and they are not interested in putting conditions and stipulations on and regulations, on how the relationship needs to go. But what they're looking for is a natural flow, right? A natural flow, something that just feels organic and feels connected and feels true. Now, there is one little caveat to what we've been talking about, and it's important for us to talk about certain bonds. If you have a blood bond with someone, in other words, if you are a parent, or you are a sibling, or you are a child, or a very close family member, it is going to be biologically instinctive, right, for you to feel compelled and drawn to connect and attach yourself to those other members of your family, even if they're not so kind to you, even if they don't match your energy, even if they don't treat you well. Again, because that is a part of our evolutionary makeup, and it is a part of our blueprint from childhood. Part of what you often work out in coaching, right, is how to have a healthy, right, separation from blood relatives or family members that are not healthy and good for you now that you are an adult. And it's not so easy. It is incredibly important for you to understand that when our sense of self-worth is a bit lower, or when it is fragile, we have a tendency to justify and excuse and forgive the things that someone with a healthy sense of self-worth would flag as a red flag and step away from. When someone isn't treating us the way that we deserve to be treated, going towards them, trying to get more of their attention or doing more doesn't help them to value us more. It actually has them value us less. It actually trains them that it really doesn't matter, right? What they do, it's fine with us. It's okay with us. We're good with it. And so that furthers their behavior. Part of knowing your sense of self-worth and eliminating this pattern of attracting unavailable people is by being so self-loving and so self-full and so confident that when there is an initial misalignment, it creates the distance it's supposed to create between you. This then has that other person go, oh, maybe I should correct something or adjust something or shift something if they have enough interest to do so, if that is truly what they want. And if they don't, well then you know what? It shows us kind of where they're at. There is simply a misalignment, and that is all. But you don't want to be doing backflips and somersaults and cartwheels trying to chase them. That is what keeps the pattern going, and that is what opens you up to attract more people like that in your life. When it comes to romantic relationships, understand that somebody that truly desires you, somebody that is really interested in you, is going to make sure that you don't have any questions about how they feel. They are going to be consistent. They are going to be engaged and interested. They are going to ask you questions. They are going to want to know what has you tick. What are the things that are important to you? They're going to want to know things like, what do you care about in your future? What are the things that make you happy? What do you want? Where are you going in life? They're going to care about those kinds of things. They're going to care about your time. They're going to care about how you're doing. They're going to want to make sure that they have you close and that you feel safe. Those are going to be the things that they prioritize in the relationship. And I know there are occasionally exceptions to this, but usually not. And if you have a pattern and you don't have these things in this relationship, chances are you're repeating the pattern. You have to decide for yourself that you are worthy of more, that you are deserving of more, and that you simply are no longer okay with settling or accepting any less. And that is all. There is never an excuse for you not being treated the way that you deserve to be treated. And sometimes people don't know, right? So a big part of breaking the pattern of attracting unavailable people and having unavailable people in our lives is having the self-worth to speak up, to actually say how we feel, to actually ask for what we want, to actually be vulnerable and share with this person, what our needs are. If we're not doing that, then we are partly responsible for the treatment that we are receiving. And if we feel like we can't do that, then there's something for us to look at in how we feel about ourselves and perhaps what our relationship is to this person. Have we put them on a pedestal? Like, what is going on? Why would we be in a relationship, and particularly an intimate one with someone where we can't even speak our minds and ask for what we need and what we want? Friends, the bottom line is we get treated the way that we allow, particularly when it comes to personal relationships. We are the ones that are attracting these people into our lives. We are the ones that are letting them know if they can stay or if they need to go. It is up to us to be incredibly clear about who we are and to never, never, never allow someone to stay in our lives if it doesn't feel good, if it doesn't feel heartfelt, and if it doesn't feel like they genuinely care about us. We deserve better. You deserve better. Feel good in knowing that there is never a reason at all for you to have someone like that in your life. Speak up, say something, and trust that the people that are aligned and right for you will respond in ways that are healthy and nourishing and aligned for you. That's a match. That's what it looks like. It's not always easy breezy, but it's always worth it with the right people. All right, my friends, well, that is it for this class. As always, it has been such a pleasure doing it for you. Don't forget to share it with your friends and your family, the people that you are on this self-love journey with, and the people that you know can benefit from this class. And I cannot wait to see you in the next one. Feels so good to be back.